Good morning, everyone. Don remembered that we needed to get Ruby inspected, and he's taken Ruby to try to make that happen this morning at the Valvoline place. It's once a year here. We will be in trouble, pay a penalty if we don't get it done, as unimportant as it seems for our electric vehicle. Ruby's got good tires. Ruby's lights are working. Shouldn't be a thing. Goodness, we're a little loud up there this morning, birds. Stripe's here at my feet. Marty's out on the driveway. I have to go grab him. He's doing good, but I gave him his medicine this morning and he was not happy with me necessarily. Marty! Marty, honey, you want some breakfast? Hi. Hi. Yeah, Marty is mad at me about the medicine. Stripe's not mad at me. Say, I don't get mad at my mom. No, I don't get mad at my mom. Wow, Ruby's getting all the treatment this morning. She got inspected, yeah. And Dawn noticed the wheels were dirty, and now he's doing her wheels. Thank you, Donnie.
Well, I can't have my girls out in public and not look their best.
Yeah, but no software update. No V14 light.
No V14. Yeah, and I can tell. I felt driving Ruby. She kept telling me to put my hands on the wheel.
Yeah. Yep. Once you go hands-free, it's really hard to go back. You're good. We've already finished the medicine for today. You drink your water. Yeah, it really wasn't too bad walking around here this morning. Not too bad at all. Alright, I am off in Ruby to the chiropractor and my other Tuesday stuff. I sure wish that I had gotten software update with V14 Lite before I left that I could have put on so I could have tested it today. Because I know a lot of people are wanting that content or interested in how it is, or it would just be nice to include today. But I figured, I'm trying not to be pessimistic, but I figured that, you know, it wouldn't come in time, and it hasn't come in time. It's kind of like watching everybody on X get access to X money, and other influencers get access to V14 Lite, and I'm just sitting here waiting. It's okay. Thank you for letting me whine. I'm done whining about it now. But it is funny, you know, sometimes friends will say, hey, I'm waiting on XYZ, and we'll commiserate how we'd like to get XYZ update or whatever. And then sometimes I have acquaintances that start questioning me if I have it and they don't have it. And I'm like, I ain't getting it any faster than anybody else. And, you know, I've been blessed a few times with things coming quick, and I've certainly had my share of things are not here as fast as I want to be. It is what it is. When I get it, I'll drive with it. Just wish it had been today. So Dawn did say that the kid at the inspection place had inspected a Tesla a couple days ago, and something to the effect of he had a little trouble with that car because it didn't have any stalks. And Dawn said, well, we got 3 over at the house, and each one of them is a little different because, you know, Robot has a turn signal, but the Cybertruck doesn't. Turn signal stock. I guess what I would have said, yeah, I hear you. You get used to it pretty quick. Although you will remember from a few years ago my argument about all the cars in the family being a Tesla. There's lots of reasons why, but one of the arguments is that there would be consistency among control systems, and there still is. You know, one could argue 95%, 98% consistency in the control systems, but each car does have subtle operating differences that you have to have to be used to. So, yeah. I mean, I actually, in Ruby the other day, tried to reach to shift on the screen. You know, it's whichever car you drove last is the one I seem to remember the controls the best in. I think, I'll say this carefully, that the older people get, the less change possibly the better, and not switching between vehicles with different controls might be good. But if you've been doing it for a while and you're used to it, then that's still your norm too, right? So anyway, weather bug, you know, WRAL for days, literally days now, has been reporting that we're going to have 4 or 5 100-degree plus days, and this is a serious heat wave that we're going to have. And we know that it's summer, but this is still, you know, a particularly hot stretch even in the middle of summer, and people are going to need to take precautions. And I mean, I'm sure all of that is true. All of that is true. And certainly people do need to do that. But I was looking on WeatherBug, and WeatherBug's not showing temperatures in Fuquay that are very hot at all, except for maybe Saturday, I think was 97. Like, they were in the 90s, but they weren't above 95, I don't think, except for Saturday. So I don't know what to think. I mean, of course, we were going to be a little cooler at the house than Raleigh was going to be. That's a given. In our, you know, in our yard, with the creek area, the low spot, the tree, the shade, it just, you know, that was going to be the case. But so I guess time will tell. Sam did decide to go to 4th of July with us. Oh, well, it's, our celebration is Wednesday the 1st. So he's going to come over tomorrow around 5, and we're going to have hot dogs, and then we're going to go to see the fireworks. We are going to go inside. We kind of have given up on the little hill spot because, you know, guy behind me, you're now 2 feet from my bumper and the light's red. So back off, Bubba. He's going to make a left turn. I just don't really appreciate big trucks coming up behind me and getting really close to me for no reason. I wasn't holding him up. And even if I was, it doesn't excuse intimidating driving like that. So I'm looking forward to the fireworks tomorrow, as long as we don't swelter too bad. But it was a fun time last year where we went into South Park, and that's what we'll do again this year. Let's see what else is going on. I guess not too much today. Ruby's inspected, so that meant that we paid the personal property tax so we could get sent the updated registration. That's, you know, it's always fun. It was less fun when Ruby was brand new, and not quite so bad now, but a lot of people have. We have not, but, and I don't know what it was this time, but a lot of people have gone back to the state and said, or filed to the county or whoever it is and said, look, this personal, I guess it's the county, this personal property tax assessment is ridiculous compared to Kelley Blue Book values for their Tesla, whatever the Tesla was. And in some cases have gotten them to lower the amount of the bill. But, you know, they make it painful on purpose so that you won't really question it, even though they know that they're assessing at what is probably an unfair value. So I think the thing that I'm most interested to see and understand with V14 Blight is the difference between Hardware 3 cars with and without a cabin camera. Ruby has a cabin camera, so obviously her driving experience does not have one. I think that's what I said. That her driving experience is not still going to be as good as the cars that do have a cabin camera because of the enforcement of the driver paying attention. So that's most interesting. I was doing a little bit of thought about Missy. I don't know if it was Cummins or Cummings. I think it was Cummings. know, she had an autonomous lab at Duke University, and then she was on part of NHTSA for a while. She's not there anymore. And I guess, you know, what she actually did and my perception of what she did may not be exactly the same. Her background is a fighter pilot for the Air Force, so she was smart and not without skill. But she was really, I'm going to say she was against humans being responsible for taking over if FSD or the AI needed them to. She didn't think humans could handle it. I guess half paying attention to driving was not how she phrased it, but sort of the concern there. And I didn't like her. I still don't like her. But it was mostly because I just felt she was too negative on the technology. So she said it would be 2035 before we had cars driving themselves around. Well, it's 2026 and we've got cars driving themselves around. So she was, you know, 10 years wrong. I wonder if she would admit that. I just thought she was negative and trying to hold the technology back. We needed data to help build the technology, and that meant cars on the road in this intermediate phase. And I thought, in my opinion, was that it was safe enough. I know I still want to go back and watch Out of Spec Dave, Kyle's dad, his video on FSD doesn't make me as good a driver. I don't remember the specifics of that. Yeah, you could stop Ruby. She's in FSD right now. The dump truck wasn't moving for us. I'm going to say that I think being an FSD supervisor may have made some of us actually better drivers prior to the last 6 months to a year when, yeah, Ruby, just a little more, you know, just a little slower there, sweetie. May have made some of us a better driver for having to supervise the car and take over, and not a worse driver. I think that was a valid hypothesis. It's just an opinion. We would have to prove it one way or the other. But, well, we all know we've got really great safety data, and we know that's not a lie. And we also know that in the middle of collecting that great safety data, some of us have had to take over sometimes, and we've still remained safe. So I don't know that we were lulled into complacency. I don't know that we'll ever have scientific numbers to really prove it one way or the other. But probably here in the last year, as the cars have gotten very autonomous and required much less intervention, including starting FSD from park and actually parking and throwing itself into park, maybe the driver complacency is an awfully negative, strong word, but maybe that's increased a little bit. I don't know. I know with Ruby, I'm still doing a lot of driving on my day around town. I get on the interstate and I engage FSD because that's like a no-brainer. There's the Cybertruck. Is that the one with the pineapple? Ruby, just go around the corner, sweetheart. I don't actually think that was the Cybertruck with the pineapple on it. It's a similar color to the one with the rat, but I didn't see the pineapple. I would park down here on the end, but this other long vehicle is in the spot. Okay. It's 10:56. I do have time to walk up the hill, so I'll just go down in the other spot. And I mean, if I was in the Cybertruck or I was him in that pickup truck, I'd park in that spot too. You're nice and tucked out of the way over there. Not fault finding. I'm just saying I've got to go choose a different spot. Yeah, Ruby jerked her wheel going around the corner there pretty bad in FSD. Obviously, our hardware 4 cars would never have done that. But it's okay. I'm used to, I've been, you know, driving with this stuff for a long time, so I'm kind of used to what it does and doesn't do. Alrighty, let's get in there and get my adjustment. Two things I think Tesla needs to fix, and I've thought this for a while and I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. If I kick out of FSD and the turn signal is on, and it's obvious that I am past the intersection, past the turn, completed the turn, I think they can tell. I think we can tell. Let's not leave the turn signal on. Now maybe in Ruby it's not possible to turn it off for me because of the stock. I don't know. I realized I was backing into the space with the turn signal still on, and that's because the turn signal was on when I exited FSD, and it continues to stay on regardless. The other thing is, if I'm turning on climate keep and I'm pushing it up to 80, let's not turn on the heater to heat the car when it's warmer than the inside temperature of the car outside. The person just is trying to not tax the air conditioning as much. And also, I still want to climate keep with the preset value, but that's because Ruby's cabin overheat is one temperature only. She has the old school software, whereas the new cars let you choose from 3 numbers. I think 95, 100, and 105. Alrighty, I am all pulsed. Just a gentle pulse today. Lower back, paddles. I didn't fall asleep today. I was chatting. Janice wasn't here. The other nice lady. I don't remember her name. We chatted for a while. And then I was just doing stuff on my phone. I didn't crash for a while today like I do sometimes. I guess I hear the call of Lowe's. A skink just ran in front of my foot. One of the little lizards we have here in North Carolina. I'm sure it would freak some people out. They don't bother me. Except for the time one of the anole lizards went up my pant leg, and as I was getting undressed in the bedroom, he started wiggling around. That didn't excite me too much. I did grab him and carry him back outside though. But yeah, that wasn't fun. Well, Ruby's wheels look really good, Donnie. Thank you. She looks pretty clean, and I need to vacuum though. The driver's mat is got some gunk on it. Just as much to get some steps and a little sunshine as it is to get my receipt or bring home plants. I decided to come in and look around. This garden center is always well stocked, so it's always fun to look at. I have a place where Impatience died, so I'm going to stick that there. And then I got this really nice Gerbera daisy hanging basket. I don't necessarily need it hanging, but I have a spot for that too. They're both, well, the basket's 50% off, and the little Impatient pack I think is going to be $4. Look at that. That's pretty. Yeah, you got to stop in here because it's just the right thing to be out in the sunshine and get some fresh air and see some color. Rudbeckia like this is on my wish list to go on clearance. I would definitely scarf that up really fast. This is the clearance area, and frankly some of it is really rough. This is kind of cute, and it did have a little scene inside of it. There's a well, maybe that's not, I thought that was maybe a snail, but if I did bromeliads, I suppose I would take that home. But it's still horribly expensive. It's still let's see, it's $16 and it says still $8 for that. I mean, really? Yeah, no. Obviously, I really like that. It lights up. It's rechargeable. They've got several different plants in those. I don't even want to know how much it is. It's probably like $25. Okay, let's look. Oh, I was so good. It's $25. But I really like that. It is pretty. It is pretty. Now, let's see what we've got today. Sure wish that was Pikes Peak and not Yosemite. I found a margarita glass. This evergreen rug is $4, so I'm not leaving it. Michelle may replace what's in it, but she likes these frames. There's a couple of snow babies down there. They're $2 each. That's a good buy. I got a shirt and this little holder thingy. So I did pretty good today. I dropped off a donation and just finishing driving around back here. There's definitely a car charging, and it is a Polestar. I was not too sad to see that Polestar will stop selling in the US. My reasoning may not be what you are thinking. I didn't like their nasty advertising campaign. My words. So, oh, there's a Carmen Ghia. My grandmother had one of these. Hers was orange, I think. She was short. She was 4'9" maybe. Something like that. And that little car suited her. She didn't have it a super long time, but she enjoyed it while she had it. I don't remember the story about why she got it or why she got rid of it. I just know it was there and then it wasn't there at some point. I had a good time in there today. I did not break the margarita glass or the snow babies yet. Yeah, I don't know why they only had $1.99 on the snow babies. In Fuquay, they would have been $8. I'm not complaining, but that's why I bought them. And they are different from any that I have. But my little bin up there that I keep the snow babies in is kind of full. And usually what happens is if they come home in the middle of the summer, they sort of stay hid behind something somewhere downstairs until I set up for Christmas. And then at the end of Christmas, I pack them where they're going. It's too much work to go up there and find the snow baby bin and put them in the middle of the summer in the heat. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, Ruby says it's 91 and I wouldn't want to spend a lot of time in a parking lot on the asphalt today. That's a performance why. Might have been performance too. It had the turbine or ultra turbine. It had the fancy wheels. I didn't see the calipers though. Well, it's been a popular day for Model Ys in the parking lot. Model 3s in the parking lot. That Quicksilver just pulled up. The one that was down lower on the way in has moved on. Mach-E just came past, also a white one. Well, I probably would go into South Park and spend a couple Pokestops, maybe run the route, but I don't think you can get in there this afternoon, and even if I could, they're in the middle of trying to set up for everything, so I'm just going to stay out. Ruby says it's 92 out there. I'm going to finish Walt. He needs a head. So I bought Walt. Walt is done because I like robots. And it has 18 plus on the box, and maybe considering it's almost symmetrical but not, and it's a lot of white, maybe that's valid. But it's really kind of a kit designed for interest for little kids, I think. Because there's faces that you can swap out. There's 3 different ones. And on top of swapping out faces, there's also, you can swap the colors. Except for the big owl eyes. Now I've got that in a ton of other colors. But if I wanted to do that, I could. I could swap it out. And I'm not going to open it because I can't do it left-handed and it'll go over the place. But these open on both ends. And one end has the bigger pieces and the other end has all the small pieces. And so, like I said, you can easily swap colors and stuff. And it's meant to open up and be a storage for the Lego and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I guess, you know, I'm happy that I got Walt. Walt's okay. Walt's not the best robot I ever built, but he is a robot. And, you know, a lot of the Bricklink designer program things are not affordable for folks. They're really big sets and they're really expensive. Not any more than any other Lego set, but they're just on par. They've been really big. So the fact that they have more of an entry-level set that folks could get, I think is a good thing too. That people can participate. Again, these is the Bricklink designer program. Real Lego parts. Bricklink's owned by Lego. These are kits that would never ever get through Lego Ideas or the development process, but it gives more people recognition to get their designs out there. So it's cool. Hi, are you helping again with the video? You're a good girl.